Reports are coming in thick and fast that Prince Harry desperately wants to move back home to the UK. However, Meghan Markle has an ace up her sleeve that might stop Prince Harry in his tracks. Me, Steph, the alternate, your nerdy alternative, filling in for Andy today. And yes, as I was mentioning, reports are coming in thick and fast that Prince Harry desperately wants to move back to the UK. So much so that apparently, yes, he is house hunting because he wants Megxie and the children to spend more time in Britain. Now, stay tuned in this video because I'm going to explain to you how reports are coming in that Megxie has an ace up her sleeve that might stop Prince Harry in his tracks. In the meantime, yes, he is looking apparently to buy a home in the UK and wants to divide his time between the UK and America. However, as you can imagine, that idea is not popular with our Megxie and apparently is causing a bit of an argy-bargy, bit of an argument, a bit of friction between Hazza and Megxie. Now, I'm not surprised that, to be fair, reports are coming in that Megxie's not a fan about coming back to the UK at all, especially when you look at the latest polls from YouGov UK, which, oh my goodness, it's got worse for Megxie. Last time I checked this out, it were 2/3 that either disliked or were neutral when it came to our Megxie. But yeah, like I just mentioned, it's got worse. Now 50%, nearly 50% of adults dislike Megxie, with 25% being neutral. So that's nearly 3/4 of the adults polled on YouGov UK turning around and saying either we're meh about Megxie or just don't like her at all. So the source is telling OK that, quote, there is a divide between the couple on this issue, but they will soon start looking for a property of their own near London, and Harry is very much leading this, which, again, I'm not surprised Hazza's leading this when Megxie must know she ain't popular in this country. She just really, really isn't. It's what she's said and what she's done, as I've mentioned many times before, not only on this channel, but my own Steph the Alternate. So if you've not subscribed to my own channel, please do. I'd really, really appreciate it. But yeah, it's saying that Hazza won't ask King Charles for a property on the royal estate because, as far as I'm concerned, he knows he would be denied pretty much straight away due to the issue that arose with Frogmore Cottage. But the source continues, making use of a small apartment in Kensington Palace from time to time isn't out of the question, but when it comes to a home in the UK, they will purchase that themselves. I wonder what they'd purchase that with. Just speculating, and just as a little side note, because, you know, with the Spotify deal that they've lost, apparently the Netflix deal on the ropes, they're not getting any new big bucks deals in, and Megxie's agency, WME, seems to not really be reeling in the moolah for the Sussexes. Yeah, properties in London are hella expensive. So, yeah, what money again are they going to be using to buy a property in London? Just asking for a friend, just asking for a friend. However, the money aspect may never really come into question at all because Megxie does not want to move back to the UK. Reports are coming in saying that Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet won't be visiting the royal family in the UK anytime soon. And this is, my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, Megxie's ace up her sleeve as to why I think it will stop Prince Harry in his tracks moving back to the UK and buying a property in London in the first place, because Megxie, opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, clearly does not want to move back to the UK, and this report, I'm taking it as Megxie's using her children to be like, I'm staying in America with the kids. If you want to go to the UK, absolutely fair enough, but guess what? Me and the kids, we're not coming with you. Right? I would think that would stop Prince Hazard in his tracks to move back to the UK. I mean, this report is coming in saying, look, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet will not be returning to the UK anytime soon to see the royal family, according to an expert, despite Prince Hazard wanting to get a UK base here. And so moving on from that, we know that Hazard has visited the UK a handful of times, most recently with the Well Child Awards last month, but Meg's hasn't travelled back to the UK since the late Queen Elizabeth II's funeral. I mean, technically she did land in the UK for a couple of moments while she was on her way to the Invictus Games last month, but who's taking that into account, right? But this is all suggesting, as per royal commentator Richard Fitzwilliam, that she unlikely wants a life for her or Prince Archie and Prince Lilibet in the UK. So regardless of Prince Harry turning around and saying, I want to move back to the UK, split our time between the UK and America, have a base in London for us and the children, it looks like Megsy's really, really putting her foot down and, a petty conspiracy theory or whatever, using her children to try and persuade Prince Harry not to buy a base in the UK, because she's like, I'm not setting foot in the UK, and if you think the children are, you got another thing coming, right? Now, the royal commentator Richard Fitzwilliam also told Express, quote, it does seem unlikely that Meghan will be visiting Britain anytime soon. The same in the short term anyway applies to Archie and Lily. I see no substance to the rumour that Harry will split his time between the United States and Britain. Now, to be fair, he does actually have a really, really good point here. He says, quote, he has serious concerns about security and still has a case pending against the Home Office regarding this, which is awaiting trial. And so Richard Fitzwilliam does have a point here that does put a little bit of doubt in terms of this report that Prince Harry is looking for a base in London in the UK to split his time between here and America, because he does have an ongoing case against the Home Office at the moment in terms of having armed security over here whilst him and his family are in the country, right? So without that being resolved to, let's say, Hazard's satisfaction, are the reports really true that he is wanting to split his time between the UK and America, so much so that he is house hunting in London? So I do get Richard Fitzwilliam's point on that, and it does cast a little bit of doubt. But he also says, quote, it's obviously important is that there is an arrangement, probably though not necessarily with the royal family, which gives him a secure permanent base, which he can use when he does visit Britain. The thing is, though, if we're really going to keep it 100 and look at the other side of the coin, when he does visit Britain, on the rare occasions that he visits Britain at the moment, I mean, it would make more sense as it stands that whenever he visits Britain that he just stays in a hotel, because that's going to be much cheaper than actually buying a property in London that he would rarely use in the first place, especially with reports coming in that Megxie doesn't really want to set foot in the UK, and neither does she want her kids to do the same. Is he really house hunting in London or not? I can see on the one hand that he is, because the UK is his home and he does want a permanent base. So there is that side of things. But on the other side, Megxie doesn't want to set foot in the UK. She doesn't want her children to set foot in the UK. So would Prince Harry want to follow suit and set foot in the UK without them? Probably not. The other side of it is, as what Richard Fitzwilliam has said, why would he want a permanent base in the UK when he hasn't resolved his whole security issues yet with the Home Office in court? So I can kind of see both sides here, but you know what? Enough with my gob, it's now time for your gobs. If you appreciated this video and you want more, believe me, of course there's gonna be more. Then make sure you subscribe to this channel, turn the notification bell to all, like this video and comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatever. Do you really think that Prince Hazard is house hunting in the UK or not? You let me know. Also as well, go one step further, become a member today and choose between being a prince, princess, king or queen and get exclusive content from myself and Andy Signal. With that being said, thank you so much for tuning in to today's video. Appreciate your faces and until the next time, you guys, laters!